Adjusting your print settings when making your Ikonart stencils is critical. This is going to look different for each person because each printer is going to have slightly different settings, but in general, you just want to change your settings to print as high quality as possible. Usually that means a photo setting of some sort, and as dark as possible if you're able to adjust the brightness and contrast, and print on glossy paper. You're basically trying to make your printer print as slow as possible so it can lay down as much ink as possible. The darker your printer prints, the easier it's going to be during the washout process to wash out your stencils. So here's exactly how I adjust my print settings in Vectr to print on my Canon Pixma IX6820. Okay, here we are in Vectr. Vectr is an online editing program. It's completely free and super easy to use, so it's perfect for beginners. And I do have a whole playlist for beginners on how to use Vectr, so you can definitely check that out. I'll have that linked below. But anyways, so assuming you already have your artwork set up the way you want it, and now you're ready to print. So the first thing I always do is I select my art and I make sure it's black. So I just head to this fills right here and just make sure that this says 100% black, this circle right here. If you select your artwork and your color palette doesn't show up over here automatically, just go ahead and right click and ungroup, and then that'll bring up your option. So it'll depend on how your artwork is set up if you need to do that or not, but if you don't see all your options, you can just ungroup. Another great option or a great feature in Vectr is if you want to mirror your artwork. Some people do, some people don't, and I'll make a different video on the whys of all of that. But if you do want to mirror your artwork, you can do that right here in Vectr. So all you do is group your artwork and click flip horizontal, and you'll have it mirrored already for you. Like I said, some people do that, some people do not. All right. So now if you're ready to print, you can just go ahead and click export, and it'll bring up your options here, and we want to actually print this. We're just going to select print, and I always make sure to have my document that I have my artwork on set up as 8.5 by 11. So my artboard is 8.5 by 11, and then I'm just going to print this to my Canon. So if I would just hit print right now, it would not print high quality on our transparent paper. It would kind of print either like super grayscale or like with lines in it and just not look good quality because I am printing on a like transparency clear film. So I just want to go into more settings and scroll down, make sure this is scaled at 100%, and then I'm going to print using my system dialog box. Okay, so once your preferences box is pulled up, you're ready to adjust your settings, and you only have to do this one time, and then we'll save it so that you can just easy click going forward. But these are the preferences I adjust for my Canon Pixma IX6820. Again, yours are gonna look a little bit different, but in general, you should be able to adjust similar settings. So the first setting that I adjust is my paper. And I use my Photo Paper Pro Platinum paper setting. And I've tested all these papers, and this one is the only one that gives me the highest quality print option available. And that's going to be under this print quality right here. So when I go to print quality and click custom and click set, it allows me to take that all the way to 1. So that paper is the only paper that allows me to take that all the way to 1. So that's why I use that one. It's going to give me the highest quality possible. All right, so, and then I just change this to grayscale. And then when I go into color and intensity, I'm going to click manual and set. And now when I'm in here, you can see this grayscale image on the left, and you'll be able to see it like the color change as I change my settings here. So first I'm going to go into brightness and choose dark. So right away you can see that that image darkened up a little bit. And then I'm going to go to my intensity right here and pull this all the way to the right to dark. And then that really darkened up that image quite a bit. And then I'll choose my contrast and take that all the way to the right as well. So that's going to give me high contrast between the lights and the darks. It really won't matter if you have your artwork set up as 100% black. It shouldn't matter too much, but I just keep my setting like that. I've used these settings for as long as I've used Ikonart, and they've always worked really well for me. So those are the only settings that I change: my paper, my brightness, my intensity, and my contrast. So you're going to want to do some settings that are similar to that: glossy paper, photo paper, high quality print, and if you are able to adjust the darkness at all, make it as dark as you possibly can. And that's it. So then once I'm out here, I'll go back to my quick setup, and then I can just click save and type in Ikonart. And now every time I go to print, I can just select this Ikonart setting and all my settings will be saved and ready to go. So it's super easy and super fast. You can see I already had one saved from before because this is the one I use all the time. So then you just click OK and click print and you're done. One other thing I wanted to note is that ink that you are using in your printer can matter. Not all inks are pigmented the same, so if you're using a cheap knockoff brand, it's possible that your ink isn't going to print as dark as the inks that are meant for your printer or the name brand inks. We do use Arthur imaging inks in our Canon. We have tested the ink density on them and they are just as good, if not a little bit better than our Canon inks. So we do use this Arthur imaging set, but I did just want to note that if you are still having issues with your prints not printing dark enough, it could be your ink. So this video is part of our Ikonart 101 series where we break down each part of the stencil making process into easy to understand sections. And I will have the entire playlist linked below so you can watch each part or the part that you're curious about. My name is Fawn and I share tips and tricks on how to make and use Ikonart stencils. If you want to see more videos on how to create and adjust your artwork using Vectr, check out this playlist right here. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you get notified every time we upload.